Okay, hi, this is Tisha for DJ Mac, and I'm sitting here with one of the rising star DJ slash producer, Oliver Heldens. Hi, Oliver.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, and how are you?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, so I heard that this is your first trip ever to Indonesia, first festival in Indonesia. How do you feel about that?
Very happy to be here in Indonesia for my first time, and I'm also very excited for the festival. I heard very good stories about Jakarta Warehouse Project from other DJs and people in the music industry. So, yeah, it's one of the best festivals here in whole Asia. So, yeah.
Yes, the Jakarta Warehouse Project is considered one of the biggest festival in Southeast Asia. So, it seems like you're very excited.
Yeah.
Okay, so Oliver, tell me a little bit about how you started your career as a producer and also DJ.
It started when I was like 12 years old, and I was already a big fan of more like harder dance styles. But then I went to high school, and at high school they threw really big school parties in like big clubs in Rotterdam. And yeah, and at these parties they played a lot of house music. So yeah, it was really like the 2006, 2009 Dutch club sound, which got me really hooked on house music. And yeah, since then I started to produce house music on my computer, and yeah, I just made a lot of different stuff. And then in like 2012, I got really inspired by a lot of like deep house from England. And yeah, for me that was also like a throwback to like the Dutch club sound. And yeah, so since then I started to make more like future house kind of music. And then in 2013, in the summer I made Gecko.
Yes.
And yeah, and since then it blew up. Gecko.
Yeah. Okay. So tell me about your first single, Gecko. Like in 2013, it hits #1 in the UK chart, right?
Yeah, it was also 2014, like a few months after the release.
Okay. And so how do you feel after? Because ever since Gecko, when like after Rocket, everybody knows your name, especially in deep house music, right? So tell me a little bit about your sound. What is exactly your sound? Is it exactly like Gecko or
in my
genre?
In my eyes, it's just house music, like how house music was like 10 years ago. And yeah, for me, really, as I told before, like that club sound from 2006, 2009. In my eyes, it's just house music, like a bit like the house music from 2006 to 2009 was a big inspiration for me. So it's actually just like that, but then like in a really new and fresh way. And yeah, and that's also because of like the influence from like UK deep house. And yeah, so I would say my music is a kind of crossover between like the UK deep house and the more like main stage kind of big sound.
Okay. Okay. I have a question actually. Are you a fan of animals? Because your first track is Gecko, second track is Koala. So can you explain a bit about that?
Yeah. I like animals, and for Gecko it was because Gecko was such a weird track at the moment. I wanted to give it a weird animal name. Mm-hmm. So then the first thing which came in my mind was Gecko.
Gecko and lizard, right?
Yeah, Gecko.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's how it started with the animal names.
And then after that, Koala. Okay. So I heard that you have a record label called Heldens.
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, I started my own record. I started my own record label, Heldens Records, in the summer. In this summer, wait, so it's summer here is different, right?
Summer here is July.
Okay, good. Okay.
Tell me about your records, Heldens Records.
Yeah, so this summer I started my own record label, Heldens Records. Actually, a year before I started Heldens Radio, and and then since then I got a lot of demos and promos from really young producers. So I got like 400 emails a week from just like from unknown talents.
400 a week.
Yeah,
okay.
but there were some really like good stuff in it sometimes, and also it was a good timing because of my alias Hilo, and
yes. Okay,
it's also a good platform for my alias Hilo, and for the alias I'm doing more underground or more bassline driven stuff. and yeah, yes, yeah. So first I started with my radio show, Healthy Radio, which I did like since 2014, and yeah, that grew really fast and was a lot of listeners. But also there were a lot of like young talents, producers who sent me their music, and then I got like 400 emails a week from unknown talents.
Yes, for hundreds of weeks is a lot.
Yeah, yeah, and sometimes was really good music in there. So yeah, and then also at the same time I was working on my alias Hilo. So then yeah, so the Healthy Records was a really good opportunity for young talents really to give them a platform, but also for Hilo to release the Hilo stuff on Healthy Records. It's doing really well. I also just released like a Healthy Talent EP with 4 tracks from unknown talents, and it's really crazy. Like for example, there's one track which already got almost a million plays, and it's just from a guy from 90 years old and 17 years old. So and it's also I released a track with Chocolate Puma, Tommy Sunshine, and DJ Funk.
Yes.
And that's like really funny because these are like kind of house legends.
Yes.
Like together they are almost 200 years old. All these people. But yeah, so and I'm really honored to also to do that. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of new stuff coming.
Okay, and we'll be looking forward for your new stuff. Who is your inspiration? Because you started at a very young age, and we would love to know who is your inspiration until you become the Oliver Heldens that you are now.
Yeah, so for me, the music which really inspired me to make house music was was like the club sound from 2006 to 2009, and it was like the old Fedler Grand stuff or the old Sander van Doorn, and but for example like the track like Yeah Yeah with the D-Ramirez mix, and yeah, so that really inspired me to make house music. And then later on, I got more into progressive house and more into electro house, and I was really inspired by hardstyle. But then in 2012, but then in 2012, I got more inspired by like the deep house from England, like the UK house, and like people like Disclosure and Shadow Child and Dusky. So since then, I started to make house music again. So yeah, so mostly like so stuff like Gecko is mostly inspired by like the UK deep house from 2012 2013, and like the more club sound from 2006 till 2009.
Okay, that's very nice. Okay, so Oliver, what would you advise to the young producer, young DJs in Indonesia to achieve their dreams? What would you advise to them?
I think it's really important to be very original. Yeah, because there's like millions of people who are trying to make music in their bedroom, and yeah, it's really important to stand out. But then, yeah, actually the most important thing is just to have fun, which makes you the happiest. It's all about having fun with making music.
So that's the key. Just do the music that you're happy about and makes you happy also. Okay.